Welcome to our welcome to our garden. I realize that I haven't given you a garden tour, and Dan has so graciously offered to film me. And he's really happy about it. But anyway, come on in. I want to show you what we've been doing. We actually have a lot of fall plants that we planted for our fall harvest. These are all red cabbage. They're actually Red Express purple cabbage, and then I have a couple Brussels sprouts in here, and the rest are all carrots. And it's nice because you can plant things now that we can harvest by late September, October. These are flowers, which I have not had very much luck. These two are relatively good. I must have planted 3 or 4 different kinds in some of these pots and none came up. But the sunflowers are blooming today. They're all starting to burst, and those were grown from seed. And over here, I love planting a real variety of things. So in this bed, we have bell pepper, which is very cool. We have some bunching onions. This is my Scotch bonnet I do with Caribbean cooking. They're really hard to find peppers. And we actually have watermelon. Look at all the flowers for watermelon. And this one is a Sweet Beauty watermelon. And we also have melon. This plant with the yellow, they're both yellow, but this plant is the melons. And we have our eggplant, which has quite a few eggplants, if Dan can bring the camera over. You can see, and we made a couple of dishes with them, and they're delicious. We have Brussels sprouts. This whole bed is all sorts of different tomatoes. We have pear tomatoes. Those are heirloom tomatoes. Some of the big ones are just taking forever, but they're on there. These are the big tomatoes that still haven't ripened yet, but they're on their way. And here are some potatoes. The center bed is all one plant with cucumbers. We come out, I swear to God, they grow overnight. So I'm trying to get recipes for pickling cucumbers and things like that. It just produces so much. More bunching onions. This is kale that we planted in the spring, and here's our kale that we'll use for salads in the fall. And this humongous plant is probably 1 or 2 bean plants. And this bean is, what kind of bean is it? This is a Kentucky Wonder pole bean. And we're just getting massive amounts of beans. We come out here every day and just, can you see, here's a couple of beans, and they're delicious. And I'm very proud of our rhubarb. This little guy almost died, and I just kept babying it. And see the rhubarb in there? I'll have to make a nice pie or something. Over here, Dan just fixed, we had this on a vertical grower, and we didn't like it. It was taking up too much room, so Dan, and his amazing idea, was to hang these, take one level, and we have, what, 5 levels? 1, 2, 3, 4 levels. And all of our strawberries are in here, which they need to be contained because these guys would take over the entire garden. So this is a new addition. These are Chinese forget-me-nots, and kind of a fun fact, when I planted the seeds, it's one of the few pots that did come up, you had to cover it with a dark garbage bag because the seeds only germinate in dark, which is very unusual, but they're on their way. This is our celery bed. As you can see, we have tons of celery. We had peas in here, but they're already done. This is parsnips. This is a warrior parsnip, and each plant is going to be 1 parsnip, so I'll take those out and transplant them somewhere. We have potatoes in this one. Carrots along the side there. We have some cabbages. Look how well the cabbages are doing. And those, we planted new cauliflower. We planted new clementine cauliflower, which is the orange cauliflower for the fall. And what I try to do is plant different, like the watermelon over there is clearly happier than this one, but we'll see how they both do. These are leeks, which are doing quite well for all my fall stocks and soups. And these are all onions. If I took those out, we probably have 5,000 onions that we could grow. We just don't have the room. So I'm using these and just, I take a little clump and put them in a dish. Let me show you one little. Let's see. If we took each one little plant is one little bulb. One little red bulb onion. These are all native wildflowers. Here's some more Brussels sprouts that I planted today. These are purple rhubarb. They're purple Brussels sprouts. And over here, these out, all these are, these were from the spring. We have cabbages. We have some Greek basil, Italian parsley. This is pineapple sage. And I planted new cauliflower. This is the purple Sicily. And those will be ready to eat in the fall. And then we have Swiss chard. And I think that's it. That is our...
What about out there?
And out here we have just flowers. I like to put just flowers out here. So we have all the different hydrangeas. And we have one little deer who just, that's her favorite plant to eat. She eats all the blossoms off of that one. She leaves the rest alone, which is nice. And that's our spring summer garden. Thank you, Dan. Don't get that.